So there is a new HSK exam coming up, and I wanted to take this chance to discuss a little bit on what that means. So the current HSK is actually the second version of the official Chinese exam that started around 2012. So it's been around 10 years without any change. The official first HSK exams, you could say 1.0, already started before 2010 and was the first version of this exam. At the time, there were three tests: elementary, intermediate, and advanced. So, multiple levels in one exam. For example, intermediate for levels 4 to 8 and advanced for levels 9 to 11. Meaning, if you were taking intermediate level 4 exam like I did back on the day, there's a lot of materials for levels 5 to 8 that you just had no idea of what was going on. So it was a very challenging exam indeed. But then around 2011, 2012, the second version came, which is the current HSK levels 1 to 6. So each of the 6 levels have the separate exam, and HSK 6 became the most advanced exam with around 5,000 words, making level 6 a lot easier than the original advanced, which was levels 9 to 11. So this current HSK has been going on for 10 years now, and I guess it's about time to have an upgrade for that as well. Now, no need to worry if you're doing levels 1 to 6, as those are set to continue as they are for the next few years. So this year, next year, maybe the year after, you should still be able to do the levels 1 to 6 as they currently are without any changes. The first change they are going to do is they have added an advanced level exam that covers levels 7 to 9, all in one exam. And it was piloted last spring among some students, I think from Thailand and perhaps other countries, but there's very little information about it. But now, November 26, 2022, will be the first time that the advanced HSK for level 7 to 9 is available. And of course, I had to take the chance, pay an expensive over 1,000 RMB to go and see what this exam is all about. At the recording of this video, there is still around 2 weeks or week and a half until the exam. So at this point, we can only speculate what is yet to come. But let's take a look at together what the exam is going to look like. So in total, we had different sections in the advanced level 7 to 9. There is listening, 3 parts for listening, 3 parts for reading, 2 for writing, 2 for translation, and 3 for spoken Chinese. So let's take a look at these one by one. Listening part 1, we have 10 questions, and those are true or false. Part 2, we have 9 plus 3 questions, either choosing the correct option, or among these 3 questions is that you write down a simple answer. On part 3 of the listening, we have 15 choose the correct answer questions, multiple choice, and then again 3 where you write down the answer that you have. So that's the listening for the questions in total, about half an hour. Next, for reading, first 28 questions, we are choosing the correct answer, so multiple choice. Part 2, we have 5 questions where you are putting sentences or paragraphs in the correct order. And then in the reading, finally, we have 14 questions where you are writing a short answer to the question. Going into the writing section, we have 2 different short texts that we have to write. The first one is about a picture to write 200 words. 200 characters, 200 characters. And the second one is to write a 600 character text from a given topic. And for writing, we have 55 minutes, so a bit less than half an hour for each. But probably for the 600 characters one, you need a little bit more time. Then we are on to the translation. So we have 2 questions for written translation and then 2 questions for oral translation, taking 41 minutes. And then there will be a lunch break, and in the afternoon will be the spoken exam, where there's a 1 question for talking about what you have read. And so probably they provide a text that then you'll be talking about. Then there will be 3 questions about given some materials and you're answering questions about those. And then 1 is about express your opinion on something. And the spoken exam is taking 24 minutes. Now, I mentioned this spoken exam is not with an actual person, but instead with the recording, and you will record your answers. So in total, with multiple choice or true or false questions, we have 67 in the whole exam. Then on writing out your own answers or the text or the translations, 31 questions. So we had 98 questions in total. Obviously, some of these take a lot more time than others. In total, the test time is 210 minutes. So it's a rather long exam, taking the morning and then a little bit on the afternoon as well. Now, how to prepare for this exam when there are no past exam papers, there are no textbooks. Basically, the only thing there is vocabulary list and grammar list, or list of grammar points that will appear in the exam. And that's it. So what can we do to prepare, or in my case, because there's only 2 weeks left, to cram for this exam? So some of the things I'm doing on the phone recording apps is to use a scritter that I use for my bachelor degree to cram up for my exams. So they already have the deck for HSK 7 to 9. Including 5,636 words. So obviously there's not enough time to go through all of these words, so I'm just trying to cram as much as possible. But it's very important to learn words in context and read a lot as well. So I came up with this new app called the Dot, where you can read articles on different topics. You can listen to them, you can read them, and then you can test yourself on the vocabulary. So this is quite a fun app to use as well. Another obviously very useful is the Pleco Dictionary app, and especially the Reader. So they have a web reader where you can paste any address with an interesting article you want to read. And then while you're reading it, you can obviously use the Pleco dictionary to check out words. So this is a great way to read Chinese articles as well. Then in terms of books that I'm using at the moment, in the beginning of this video, I talk about the original old HSK back in the day before 2011, before 2012. And it is a different exam, or it was a different exam compared to the new advanced coming now. But there are some question types that are similar, or that I believe can be helpful, because preparing for an exam, it's nice to get into the groove of taking exams as well. For me personally, I took HSK 6 exam in 2013 and 2016. So it's been a long time since I took an exam myself. So it's good to do some exam practice as well, just so you remember how it feels like to take an exam. So I found on Taobao this online book for this is the old HSK, not the current one. some grammar-related practices. For example, some of these exercises were great for synonyms and also for putting sentences into order, so grammar structure-wise as well. I found some of these to be helpful. Idioms or 成语 has never been my strong point, so I decided to also check out this book for advanced Chinese idioms as well, with plenty of exercises that can be used. Then also I noticed this new advanced textbook series that is meant for those HSK 6 and above. And this is a new series from 2021, I think. For example, they had advanced Chinese news reading course, 2 books with news articles and exercises. This is great. In this same series, they also have an advanced Chinese audio visual course as well, which is quite greatly done because it has the QR codes for the news videos you can see online and then do the exercises related to that. So it's quite a fun way as well. So say HSK 6 and above. Great new series. Just came from the Beijing Language and Culture University Press. Then translation is an important part of the new HSK Advanced 7 to 9 level as well, and that is something that is very new to me because I've never had courses on translation during my studies, so I wanted to practice that as well. So what I found was this Chinese English translation book. And this is mostly to practice indeed from Chinese to English translation. Whereas in the exam, you have to do English to Chinese or another language. There's a couple of choices to choose from, like Japanese, Korean, for example. In the exam, it would be English to Chinese. Now, there are some exercises here that are indeed English to Chinese with the correct answers and advice. But a lot of the exercises here are Chinese to English. So how I plan to use this book is to go to the answers, and then try to translate the answers back to Chinese and then go see the exercise. Okay, what was the original text, and try to compare to have at least a little bit of experience on translations. For the spoken part, then, I imagine the best way perhaps to be is the HSKK Advanced Oral Exam that has been available for years. I did it once in 2016 as well, as required by my scholarship. So I think those exercises might still be useful, or those are the only ones available at the moment. There is a great book for those as well. I just did not have it here with me. So these are some of the books and apps that I plan to use to prepare for this exam, and also, making mental preparation. That is a good chance I will not pass the exam, as there's so much little to know, and I decided to do it on quite a short notice as well. But I'm very interested to see how the exam will be like. It will give me more information to prepare for it in the future, when the next exam after November 26th is the next one. But the next one after that, when that will be, is still unknown. The test center I contacted also didn't know when it will be provided the next time. But at least the exam on the 26th will give me an idea of what the exam is like and how to prepare for it in the future. So after the exam, I will certainly be giving like a review on the exam, how it was like, section by section, and then my advice or tips on how to prepare for that. But this is what I know so far, and what ways I plan to prepare for this exam that is going to be happening next week. If there's anyone else who is taking the exam on the 26th or planning to take it in the future, please share your experiences, your advices, your resources, links in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching and wish me good luck.